Our brain doesn't measure real effort. It judges by how big something looks. If it seems big, we run. If it looks small, we go without thinking, even when the final effort is the same. This mental trick charges you an invisible toll. You postpone what matters because the measure looks too big. By the time you notice, you've already given months of your life to nothing. Now bring this to money. There's a financial decision where changing the measure changes the result. This isn't about getting rich tomorrow. It's about stopping the self-sabotage that starts the moment something looks intimidating. In the next seconds, I'll show you why changing the ruler you use, just that, can unlock a goal that felt impossible. Let's go. Buying 1 Bitcoin is impossible for me. Okay, stop looking at the whole thing. Think in Satoshis. 1 BTC equals 100 million Satoshis, the Bitcoin cents. And 0.1 BTC is 10 million Satoshis. Same asset, different ruler. When you aim at the whole number, your brain freezes. When you see Satoshis, small, repeatable parts, it moves. Instead of, I need 1 whole, it becomes, every week, I buy Satoshis. Simple. No drama. Take something from everyday life, a Friday takeout meal, or 2 gourmet coffees a week, and reroute part of that into Satoshis. It's not about the perfect shot. It's about quiet consistency that compounds. What can you actually keep up for 12 months without pain, chasing a giant number, or stacking Satoshis every week on autopilot? If that flipped a switch for you, hit like so this reaches more people who just need to change the ruler. Now that the whole stopped being scary, let's set practical steps, clear milestones, all the way to 0.1 BTC. Let's turn intention into simple milestones. 3 clear steps. 1. 100,000 Satoshis, the warm-up. 2. 1 million Satoshis, the first big checkpoint. 3. 10 million Satoshis, 0.1 BTC, your main target. Here, rhythm beats intensity. Pick a weekly amount that fits your budget and automate it. DCA. It doesn't need to be big. It needs to be repeated. Missed a week? No drama. Get back on track next week. The rule is, don't break the streak out of ego. If money is tight, cut 1 recurring expense, like a food delivery or 2 fancy coffees. Every dollar reallocated becomes Satoshis that don't disappear when you close the app. Focus on measurable consistency. How many sats per week? Not when I have extra. Which milestone can you hit in 90 days? 100K, 1 million, or are you already aiming at 10 million? Comment your target and your weekly amount. People who write commitments follow through more. Okay, 0.1 BTC sounds possible. But why does it matter so much? Because when you look at real supply and compare it to how many people compete for the same units, the penny drops. Let's do the quick math now. Here's the rule. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoins, period. If each Bitcoin was split into 10 parts, we'd have at most 210 million slices of 0.1. Now remember the size of the line, the US plus the entire world. Even if you look only at the US, the math gets tight. If you look at the planet, it gets tighter. And we're not even counting lost coins, forgotten keys, inaccessible wallets. The concentration of coins in hands that hold many and small fractions that simply never come back to market. Owning 0.1 BTC isn't just a number. It's a position on a ladder with very few rungs available. The more people understand this math, the less they want to sell those fractions. If supply is rigid and the line keeps growing, where do you want to stand when people start competing for the same zero point 0.1 slices. Scarcity explains the how much. Now we need the why. Why is this money different from the money that melts in your pocket? Let's flip that switch now. The problem isn't how to get rich fast. The problem is why your money leaks while you work. Your paycheck goes up a little, but the grocery cart goes up more. You don't need a spreadsheet to feel it. Same effort, less life purchased. Think of it like this. Saving in something that can be created out of thin air is like filling a bucket with holes. You put money in, the system takes it out. Now change the bucket. What if your savings sat in something with a hard cap? Visible and hard to manipulate. Good money rests on 3 pillars: verifiable scarcity, resistance to manipulation, and global portability. If the bucket has no holes, every deposit counts, and times math works for you, not against you. If your savings couldn't be diluted by printing, how would your 10-year plan change? Would you work the same way, knowing the value doesn't evaporate? Got the why. Now, what's happening out there that makes this more and more inevitable? Let's talk real adoption, without hype. Here's how it grows in the real world. First, individuals understand the game and start accumulating Satoshis. Then companies put part of their treasury into a hard asset. Finally, institutions create access vehicles for people who don't want the technical side. Each step brings more eyes and less circulating supply. You see long-term savers, funds, treasuries, and family offices seeking the same protection, something that can't be diluted by printing and can be held under clear rules. This isn't short-term noise, it's long-term architecture. Now imagine 5 to 10 years of people buying every week. It's not about one big hit. It's about a constant flow pushing against a rigid supply. So what does 0.1 BTC really give you beyond a number on a screen? Let's talk life optionality and peace of mind when the world shakes. 0.1 BTC isn't a pretty number, it's optionality. When the world shakes, you have a hard cushion that doesn't depend on anyone's mood. When a rare chance appears, you have something to act with, without tearing your life apart. Emergency, a reserve that doesn't evaporate with headlines or decrees. Opportunity, a liquid, global asset you can move when you want. Family, a piece of wealth that isn't trapped by a bank, a time zone, or business hours. You didn't gamble, you built. Week after week, without spotlights, you bought time, room to move, and quiet in your head. This isn't a lottery, it's a method. If optionality matters more to you than lottery tickets, subscribe. We cut the noise and stick to the plan. One thing left: courage and consistency, so you don't break the cycle. Let's close with the pact that separates talkers from doers. Here's the naked truth. Nobody is coming to save you. Not the market, not the algorithm, not the perfect signal. What bends your curve is a small habit repeated, or the lack of it. You don't need the courage of a lion. You need the courage of a clock. Come back every week, same day, same move. Zero glamour, zero excuses, just execution. Your unbreakable protocol: set a weekly amount. Buy Satoshis at the same time. Never reset the streak. If you miss a week, resume. No drama. Picture yourself 12 months from now, looking back. 2 possible worlds. You acted and you're holding 0.1. Or you delayed and you're holding stories. The price that separates those worlds isn't Bitcoin's price. It's the price of your discipline. If you can't press 2 buttons, like and subscribe, to lock this in, How will you press the same button every week when no one's watching? This is a no-noise game. Hit like and subscribe now. From today on, weekly check-ins, clear milestones, real accountability, visible progress. When the next supply squeeze collides with millions chasing the same scarce asset, will you already be holding your 0.1 or explaining again why you didn't start today?